Welcome to the TRM Show. I'm your host, Dave Serafinas, and today we're going to be talking about evacuation insurance, BTAs, DBAs, and all that fun stuff. You know, when I first came to this industry over 2 decades ago, I quickly learned there are a lot of moving parts to a good travel risk management program, including insurance. My most frightening scenario was having a client get a program and they didn't realize it was non-insured because nobody asked the question. They'd have an evacuation or an event, and they'd get stuck with a bill for $150,000, and they'd get mad at me because I didn't tell them about it. So I wanted to quickly learn as much as I possibly could about how the insurance end of things worked. Today, most organizations have some type of BTA. But back over 20 years ago, it wasn't uncommon for an organization to have a self-insured program. And many of my clients did indeed just have that. But, you know, stakeholders are looking to us for guidance as a trusted advisor and consultant. So they are actually, relying on us to make sure that we tell them all the different aspects of a good program. Because they're not the experts, we're the experts. In most cases, the stakeholders that we're talking to are either security or travel management. And generally, those folks don't truly understand what a BTA is. A BTA is a business travel accident policy. Once the question gets asked, and this is something I did at the very beginning of the conversation, not at the very end, I had asked the question, who do you have for evacuation insurance? And 9 out of 10 times, they would tell me, geez, I really don't know. I'm going to have to talk to risk management. And that's where all the fun begins, because risk management does not want anybody, either internal or external, messing around with their insurance relationships. And you'll find that that will indeed delay the process, but it's for a good reason. Once we get to the point where risk management is okay and discloses what they have for an insurance program, we can start asking lots of other questions. Generally, in my opinion, this is a good opportunity to get to talk directly to the insurer or the broker for that matter. You'll also find in a lot of cases the broker themselves don't fully understand how these BTAs work. In a lot of cases, they're selling the great big insurance programs, and they typically don't get involved with the BTAs. But that being said, it's a good opportunity to set up a meeting or a call with the broker or directly with the insurer, take a look at the policy, and find out some more information. In a lot of cases, there's a lot of exclusions in the BTA. Pre-existing conditions, psychiatric conditions, AIDS, HIV. You know, you want to determine, does it cover leisure, out-of-country medical? So you want to make sure that all the check marks are checked, and you want to make sure that it's the right product to dovetail with the travel risk management program. So there's going to be a lot of discussions between the insurer and the client, with yourself. And you may very well find out that the policy they currently have is not going to be enough. Limits of liability are too low, too many exclusions. You might even find that this particular BTA will only work with one vendor or one assistance company. You like to know this ahead of time, before rather than later. You know, it's a tough pill to swallow if you go all the way down to the finish line with the client expecting to sign a contract with you, only to find out that the insurer will not work with you. So you want to find out all those types of details ahead of time. And now you want to find out, will the insurer sign a direct billing agreement or DBA with you? If you do not have a DBA in place, you will have to send the bill directly to the client. And then the client will have to send the bill directly to the insurer to get reimbursed, which is a huge pain in the neck. So you want to make sure that the insurer that you're all willing to work with can deal directly with the people who are doing the medical evacuations. Typically, you won't want to sign a DBA or some other form of contract that allows the vendor to submit the bill directly to the insurer. Once that's in place, then you're almost home free. But you want to set up ops procedures. When and how do you notify the insurer? Each insurer will have its own protocol. Some insurers say, we want to adjudicate the claim or pre-adjudicate the claim. We will let you know right up front, right then and there, when we pay the claim. But most insurers say, look, go ahead, do the evacuation, do the hospital admittance, do the guarantee of payment, then send us the bill, and we will determine if it's covered at that point. So this gets tricky because what you have to do in the contract with the client is set up language that says in the event that the insurer does not cover the claim, then we can send you, the client, the bill directly. So these are the things that you really, really have to discuss before you set up a TRM program. If you don't do it up front, trust me, you're going to have major, major problems at some point in time. If you're the client, you're going to want to insist that the following be taken care of up front. The provider needs to set up medical operations procedures. When and how do I notify the insurer? What are the billing procedures? When do I bill the insurer versus when do I bill the client? Do you want the traveler to pay and claim on low-cost events like outpatient? What about hospital admittance? Will the insurer cover the guarantee of payment cost or case fees? Because if they don't, you, the client, are going to have to pay those case fees. In many cases, the insurer will cover case fees, but I've seen in many cases where they don't cover case fees. So you'll want to know when are you going to get a bill for a case fee versus when the insurer is going to pay it. The beauty of talking about these things is you may have an opportunity during this process if you're going up for renewal with your insurer. If you're in a process of going up for renewal or you're in a good position where you can go up and shop, now's the time to negotiate because some of these things are non-negotiable once the policy is in place. So if you've got a situation where you can select a new vendor, now's the opportunity to say, look, I want all these pre-existing conditions waived. I want coverage 100 miles from home. I want you, the insurer, to pay for the case fees and a lot of other things that you wouldn't ordinarily be able to get if you were in a policy midstream. So make sure that you take advantage of your opportunity at renewal or if you have the opportunity to bring in a new insurer. Okay, so we've pretty much covered everything at a fairly high level on DBAs, BTAs, and evacuation insurance. If you have any questions or if you're in a situation where you're not certain, give me a call. Contact me. You have my website. You have my email address that you can see at the end of this video. That's what I do for a living. I'm a consultant. I help people, figure things out. If you have a program in place, it's simply not working correctly, or you weren't told everything you needed to know, give me a call. I'll walk you through it. I'll help you out. And hopefully you'll have a program that works very smoothly. Thank you so much for listening. Hope you have a nice day and stay tuned for the next episode. Bye now.